Hello everyone and welcome to the Dragon Code. In this video we are going to look at loops. So let's start. In this lesson we are going to look at loops. Loops are used to execute block of code as long as condition is true. We are going to look at while, do while and for loop. Let's first look at while loop. While loop has almost same syntax as if statement, you just use while keyword instead of if. You also add brackets and curly brackets. Inside curly brackets you add block of code that will be executed, and inside brackets you pass condition. Loop will be executed as long as condition is true. So if condition is false, loop will be executed 0 times. And if condition is true, loop will be executed infinite amount of times. But this is not what we want. If you have infinite loop, your program will never end. So passing boolean values true or false directly as condition in loop is not good idea. You should use variables instead. I'll declare a variable. Let it be integer variable called counter. It will have initial value of 0. Let's pass condition counter is less than 3. And let's now run this code. So this is again infinite loop. This is because I didn't change value of this variable. This is because the value of counter variable is always 0, so this condition is always true. But because it is variable, I can change its value. I can, for example, increment the value of variable by 1 in each iteration using increment operator. And let's run this code now. Hello world is printed 3 times. What did actually happen there? Counter variable is 0. So condition is true. 0 is less than 3. So this block of code inside curly brackets will be executed and counter variable will be incremented by 1. After that, loop goes in its next iteration. So it again checks condition. Now counter is 1. It has value of 1. Again, 1 is less than 3, so condition is true, and again this block of code will be executed. It means hello world will be printed and counter variable will be incremented by 1. In next iteration, counter variable has value of 2 and 2 is less than 3, so it is again true. So this block of code will be executed again. And after that iteration, in next iteration, counter variable has value of 3 and 3 is not less than 3. So while loop is terminated. You can check that with using breakpoint. Breakpoint is a powerful tool in Visual Studio which allows you to monitor your program. To use breakpoint, left-click on the line of code from where you want to start monitoring your program. And then, when you're running your program, you need to start it with debugging. Now you can see how the value of the variable counter is changing. Hover over the variable and I will pin it. I will use step into to go over the code. So first the condition is checked. And because it is true, this block of code inside curly brackets will be executed. And after first iteration, counter variable is increased by 1. Then loop goes in second iteration. Because condition is true, it again executes code inside curly brackets. And after second iteration, counter variable is 2. Loop goes in third iteration, condition is again true, and after third iteration, counter variable is 3. So condition is false, so while loop is terminated. So this is the way you use breakpoint to see how variable is changing. The second loop is do-while loop. Do-while loop is almost the same as while loop. The only difference is that in do-while loop, first is executed code inside curly brackets and then the condition is checked. Let's write a do-while loop. So, although if condition is false, the do-while loop will be executed once. Let's pass there false and let's print something. And let's now run this code. You can see that code is executed although condition is false. So here, first this block of code is executed and then condition is checked. Unlike in while loop where is first condition checked and then if it's true block of code is executed. I wrote program in lesson 7 where user guess number between 0 and 10 and I use their if-else statement. Downside of that program is that user has only one chance to guess the number. With loops, we can allow user to have multiple chances to guess the number. Let's write that program again, but now we will use do-while loop. So again, I need two numbers, number and guess number. In this situation, it's better to use do-while loop because user first need to enter the number. But in while loop, you first need to check condition. But you cannot check condition because guess number is uninitialized. So do-while loop is better option because it will first ask user to enter the number and then it will check if that number is the right number. So let's ask user to enter the number. To 10 and then I need to request user's input and then I need to pass condition. So the loop will be executed as long as num is not equal to guess number. So it will be executed until user guess the right number. And when loop is terminated, let's print you have guessed the right number. Let's now run this code. So if I guess the wrong number, loop is executed again as long as I'm guessing the wrong number. And when I guess the right number, loop is terminated. While and do while loops are used when amount of iterations is uncertain, like in this example. We don't know in which iteration will user guess the right number. He can guess in the first iteration, in fifth, in 20th. It is uncertain. And the last loop we are going to cover in this video is for loop. For loop is used when number of iteration is known. In for loop, you just not only pass condition. For loop consists of three parts: initialization, condition, and update. Initialization is done only once. You initialize variable that will be used in condition. And then condition is checked. If condition is true, block of code inside curly brackets will be executed. And after each iteration, variable is updated. Let's try for loop in C++. For loop is used when you want to execute block of code multiple times. If I want to print some text 5 times, I can do it like this. This text, hello world. I can copy this code and do this 5 times. And this text is printed 5 times. But I can also do this with for loop. Let's comment this. So I first need for keyword, and then I need to initialize variable. It will have initial value of 0. Then I need to add condition. E is less than 5. And then I need to add update, and this variable will be incremented by 1 after each iteration. And I will use increment operator. And then I'll need to add block of code that will be executed after each iteration. And then I will just copy this code. Let's run this code. And as you can see, the text is also printed 5 times. You can see how variable I is changing after each iteration. So to do that, I will print I variable after each iteration. Let's now run this code. As you can see, in the 5th iteration, the value of the I variable is 4. And in 6th iteration, value of I variable is 5, and 5 is not less than 5. So the condition is false and for loop is terminated. Initial value of variable in for loop doesn't have to be 0. It can be any number. For example, 1. And when I run this code, for loop is executed 4 times. In this case, if you want to execute block of code inside curly brackets 5 times, you either need to use less than or equal operator, or you need to use condition less than 6. It is printed 5 times. Variable in the loop can also be decremented. So I will use decrement operator I will start from 5. Initial value of variable will be 5, and I will add condition it is greater than 0. So until e is greater than 0, block of code will be executed. Let's run this code. And you can see how variable I is decrementing after each iteration. You can also use arithmetic operations when you updating the variable inside for loop. So I can use shorthand operator to increment variable by 2. And let's run this code. So the variable is incremented by 2. Let's now write a program that will ask user to enter a number, and we will print squares of all numbers in the range from 1 to that number, including those two numbers. For example, if user enters the number 5, we will print squares of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 number. Let's do it. First I need variable, and I will call it range. Then I need to ask user for enter the number. Then I need to request user's input. So initial value of variable in for loop will be 1, and it will be executed as long as variable I is less than or equal to range. I will print squares of all numbers in that range. Is I multiplied by I. And last, I need to modify update of the loop to make sure that variable is incremented by 1 after each iteration. So I will use increment operator, and I will also add space here. Let's now run this code. So if I enter number 7, program will print squares of all numbers in range from 1 to entered number. Let's try it again. In this case, I will enter some bigger number, for example 25, and here are all squares in range from 1 to 25. This is all for this video. If you like this video and want more videos like this, press like button and subscribe, and see you next time.